So let's get straight to that conversation about the EFCC and former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. We've been joined in the program from our Abuja studio. Legal practitioner, Mr. Olumide-Fusika. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Mr. Fusika, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Fusika, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Welcome to the program. Let's begin with, there's something I want to play first as to why, because people were wondering why the siege, whether the governor, former governor was invited or wasn't invited. There's been that debate back and forth, the issue of substituted service. We're going to get to that detail. But there's another thing he said, besides what we played before the roundoff, that I need to get to the attention of the public. Let's take that, why they had to invade his residence.
Move money directly from government to produce the change. Use it to pay the child's school fee in advance. In advance. Dollars. How much? 71?
Yes. Total is over almost 800.
In dollars, yes. In dollars. $72,000. $720,000, sorry. $720,000 in advance. In anticipation that he was going to leave government house. In a poor state like Kogi, you want me to close my eyes to that? Under the guise of saying I'm being used by who? At this stage of my life, used by who? By who? For crying out loud. I assumed office here. I didn't initiate the case. I inherited the case file. I called for the case file. I called for the report. And I said, look, there are issues here. Do you know on my honor, I put a call across to him, which ordinarily I'm not supposed to do. Just to honor him as a governor, as a immediate past governor. Sir, there are issues. I've seen this case file. Can you just come? Let us clarify these issues.
There's actually a second statement he made. If my producer can get that for us. This was when he was talking about some level of courtesy he advanced to the governor and all of that. But I needed to get to the one he talked about, why they had to get to the residence of the governor and all of that. But let me take your immediate reaction to, Mr. Fusika, to what played out today as far as this statement. Maybe your quick response to some of the things that were said by the EFCC chairman.
Well, our public officials, a person or someone who has held the office of a governor of a state is supposed to be an exemplar in the sense that we are supposed to follow his example. If, for instance, I, as a private citizen, hear today that the EFCC, by whatever means I hear it, that the EFCC or any law enforcement agency has any issue with me, I will go there voluntarily. I won't wait to be arrested. I won't wait for any drama and all that. And you will expect that from someone who has held the high office of governor of a state. So I really don't understand what whoever it is that is making, raising issues about invasion and all that. I didn't see any invasion. I think that what is going on is that, some of these officers, they have a lot of, some of these public officers, they have a lot of money at their disposal, and they are able to use it to change, to tell the story the way they want the public to hear it, to change the narrative, to whip up sentiment, emotions, and all that. So right now, we are no longer talking about what the substance of the matter is. It's about whether the right procedure has been followed in trying to arrest him or not. I think that, that shouldn't be the discussion right now. And looking at the law, he knew that he needed to go to the EFCC. That was the only reason why he went to Kogi State High Court. If he didn't know that he was being looked for by the EFCC or EFCC was interested in him, why did he file a case in Kogi State High Court to say that he should not be arrested, harassed, and all that. So he knew. So rather than filing a case, why didn't he just walk to the EFCC and say, here I am. I'm former governor. I should lead by example. What is the issue? Let me explain whatever it is you have, you know. But rather than doing that, he went to Kogi State High Court to file a case. So say that I didn't, for him to say that, no, I didn't know the EFCC is interested in me or have an issue to go and resolve with the EFCC, that would not be a correct statement. He knew. That was why I went to Kogi State High Court. And the judge in Kogi State High Court was very...
If I may button, my apologies, because of what you said, because we've had this back and forth. One of the questions the average discerning Nigerian is asking, was he invited? Now, just before, a minute before I came on air, we saw a release replying the EFCC. I think Mr. Wajarin had a release, and they said in their words, this is according to Bello's people, that the EFCC lied. In the third paragraph, they say in paragraph 3 of the publication, the EFCC stated that they invited Alhaji Yahaya Bello immediately after his tenure ended on the 27th of January 2024. We challenge the EFCC to publish a copy of the invitation delivered to Yahaya Bello. They should also tell Nigerians the date of the alleged invitation was delivered and who it was delivered to. We are certain that the EFCC will not be able to produce any of the foregoing as till date. They have yet to invite Yahaya Bello. So when you read this and you hear the EFCC chairman say, I even had to make a call to him, where should the public stand in all of this? This is more like judicial.
Well, I'm not a spokesman for. I am not a spokesman for EFCC. I'm sure they will be able to explain themselves whichever way they want to. Now that Yahaya Bello knows whether he was served with letter before, he wasn't served with letter. Now he knows. Let him go to the EFCC and explain himself. It's a simple thing. He knows now. Supposing he didn't know before. Now he knows. So if you hear that a case has been filed against you, I have clients who would call me and say, well, I have not been served. Maybe they are even trying not to serve me. Go to the court and obtain the copies of whatever has been filed against me so that I can respond to it. That's how a responsible person behaves. That's how you expect a governor of a state that has ruled a state in Nigeria should behave. If he didn't know before, he said, oh, I wasn't served, now he knows. And when the EFCC came to wherever it was that day, and, oh, we are EFCC, we are interested in Yahaya Bello. Why didn't he come out to say, here I am? If you are going to be contesting and say, well, you are not following the right procedure, go to court and do that. They came to where he was lodged, his residence in Abuja, a former state governor. If a policeman came to your station now to say, we're asking for your, maybe proprietor or MD or whatever, will you ask your staff to go and blockade the road and say, don't. You produce him and say, here he is. If he's not around, he's not around, he will come, he will honor your invitation on so date. But was that what happened? That wasn't what happened. So all this talk of I wasn't served, now he knows. He knows. Everybody in the, has what's it called? Was it a wanted, whatever advert not been placed on him? Should be honorable. If he didn't know before, they've placed the wanted advert on him, he should go there and honor the invitation.
All right. I want us to get into some of the real merits without, of course, it's still under adjudication. So we are careful around this. You're a senior advocate, so I'm sure that you understand what I'm saying. But if I can get the track of that invasion from my producer, let's take a listen to the EFCC chairman on what played out that particular day.
Not until the day we got this order. I didn't go after this man. Do you know when we got there? I said Mount Surveillance. We were there as early as 7 a.m. Mount Surveillance. Don't cause breakdown of law and order. I people mounted surveillance. So when eventually we got this order across to them, we were supposed to move in. That was when the government came with his vehicle. Even though they are denying now that it didn't come on. When we have all the video evidence, we know the forensic evidence we have with us. And who is this man again? We met over 30 armed policemen. About 10 CTU, counterterrorism. I don't know what, with him. His CSO is a senior DSS official. We met all these people there. I went with my gallant men, over 50 of them, armed to the teeth, who would have exchanged fire. Then if you have done it, there have been casualties. If I've killed 1 or 2 people in the crossfire, Adam, what will you be saying? Will you be proud to come and collaborate with me today? And that's what some people are condemning us for. Why did you break down the house? So if I've killed 1 or 2 people or another uniformed man because I wanted to arrest somebody who committed white-collar crime. What would I do if I want to arrest a terrorist?
Well, there's been a barrage of reaction across board from Kogi State, from the Assembly, all of that. We'll try as much as possible to take all of that. But let me come back to you, senior advocate, on this particular one. One of the reasons his lawyer gave is the fact that it says he's not sure of getting fair hearing. I don't know. What does that mean?
That he will not get a fair hearing.
Because when they were questioning about his appearance
his
in
lawyer
court,
said he will not get fair.
Those are the things that happen at the proceedings today.
No, no, but the EFCC is just to lay the charge, lead the evidence. The EFCC will not be the judge in the case. So I don't understand the bit about not getting fair hearing. He will be represented by, you know, a lawyer of his choice or lawyers of his choice. I'm sure the lawyer that spoke must be a senior advocate too. So for him to say he won't get a fair hearing, that would be an indictment on the judicial system in Nigeria. I don't know about that. I believe that the judges will go where the evidence lead. If the evidence is against him, the judges will say so. If it is not, it will also say so. After all, we've seen so many cases lost by the EFCC. So it's not as if once the EFCC charges you with an offense, you are convicted immediately or you are automatically guilty. That's not the way it works.
Is it
what's he afraid of?
What he says
is not.
Is it legally tenable for him to say that? You're the lawyer. I'm just asking for interpretation. If he's unsure.
Well, I'm not in the case, and I don't know I don't know the facts, but he's presumed innocent. The EFCC, when he gets there, the charge will be read over to him. He will plead guilty or not guilty. The EFCC will call his witnesses to whatever allegations they've laid against him. He will have the opportunity of questioning those witnesses. He will have the opportunity of bringing his own witnesses to say, no, I didn't do this. He will have the opportunity of arguing the law, you know, after, you know, laying the facts and then applying the law and all that. And the judge would then be able to say, is he saying that he already knows that he's guilty? Is he saying that he's guilty already? He knows in his own conscience that he's guilty? So I don't understand that bit about it's not sure of fair hearing. Fair hearing where?
So
I don't know. Let's see. It is because the country is dysfunctional. Well, I'm sorry to say. If not, you can't have different arms of you know, people armed with taxpayers' money. A law enforcement agency wants to arrest someone validly on a court order. And some other people armed with guns purchased with taxpayers' money prevented it from happening. Where does that happen in any part? I don't know where that, as we are speaking now, President Trump is facing a trial, a criminal trial in the US. President Trump, former leader of well, so to say, they say it's free word, former leader. He's facing trial. He's making his own protestation and won't have fear, but he has presented himself in court. He has pleaded not guilty. The trial is ongoing. That was talk of somebody who is governor of one. I'm sorry to use the. I mean, governor of a provincial governor says he will not go to court because of what?
All right, let us say
I've not been this. I've not been that. As governor, he should go to court. He should go and present himself in court and say, here I am. That's how a responsible person behaves.
Okay, let us say, what is left, what are the options left to the EFCC? There's a hearing coming up, and if they insist he has to show up and he doesn't show up, what is left in law for him? I mean, for the EFCC. Because he saw that they said they were avoiding a shootout at his home so that there won't be any casualty. What options is left for them?
No, the reason why they were avoiding the governor, a sitting governor, went there with his own security men provided for his own security, or policemen and whatever. He took them to the place, and there was going to be a confrontation. So if that had happened, And would it be? And there's a exchange. If there had been an exchange of gunfires and the governor, you know, the sitting governor, whoever there, we are not even talking of, and the governor was killed, that would have been much more embarrassing. I think that what the state should do is, and I think they've started that, since it's not going to use the resources of the state for lawful purpose, they should withdraw the policemen, the DSS, whatever that is, you know, attached to this, withdraw all of them. Or some have even said, why should they be withdrawn? It is the duty of those policemen and the DSS or whatever officials to arrest him.
All right,
that's their duty.
They
should arrest him and bring him to...
My sincere apologies, we're totally out of time. I must thank you for coming, because we have another part of this conversation just after the break. I must thank you, and my sincere apologies, Ms. Deyinka Olumide-Fusika, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for your thought and insight on this particular issue between the EFCC and former Governor Yahaya Bello. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.